from first grade, I would draw the Saturn V rocket with the command module and the service module and the lunar module. I had that all and I'm not a drawer, but, you know.
You'd have been great at NASA.
Oh, my gosh.
You'd have been great. There's still time.
Now I'm going to go into an absolute depression. I could have been a contender.
There's still time.
Oh, my gosh.
What are you, 45? Close enough.
45. Yeah.
No, it's cool. The mission's cool. It's really neat. It's neat to watch. But honestly, I was legit. I didn't know. I thought we were landing on the moon. That's all I heard about was the moon from this thing.
Yeah. It's coming in Artemis 4. Okay.
All right, good.
Speaking of sports, because you're kind of a sports guy, how about Gannon University men's basketball?
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Did you watch any of that?
I did. And
I mean, that full court press all the time?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, what a great day for Erie, right? Mentioned prominently, great day for the university, for that program. As that coach signed a D1 deal, I hate to say that, it's a pretty good opportunity here.
Honestly,
but are you kidding me?
I woke up with that this morning. Like, how many kids enter the portal to go play for Michigan or something?
Yeah, that might be a stretch, maybe, but holy cow! And I think NIL has changed so much, but I just think. Kids don't come there without the experience being good, the whole experience, right? It says so much for Gannon. And it's not the juxtaposition right now between Gannon and Mercier is what's going on, canceling sports. I mean, it's not, listen, this happens, right? I mean, this is just, sometimes this is the way things happen, but this is amazing. What a cool day. Another cool thing for Erie on the map from another sports event. Great for the university. I thought it was awesome. So
Seawolves kicked off this weekend. New skipper, a lot of new players coming up from single A. You know?
Yeah, good crowd opening night.
Yes.
Wasn't bad Saturday. I worked Saturday's day game.
Yeah.
Yesterday was probably a little brutal being Easter and with the weather, but it's so entertaining. We're lucky to have these teams, Otters, Seawolves. It's been cool. It was a fun sports weekend.
All right, so we woke up to Easter Sunday with, as one of the reports said, an expletive-filled Truth Social post.
That's legit.
From the president.
That did happen.
Did you not see
I thought
it?
It was a joke. I did. I don't trust anything anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
No, it happened.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe it. I've seen enough of it since to figure that's the case. I just don't believe anything I read at this point because of AI or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not Ronald Reagan, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. It's not FDR. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I've watched the press conference today, the 1 o'clock press conference, a good part of it. And it's classic Trump, right? Explains it well, makes his point, has some humor, I get he's conceited, but he's also humble in many ways. When he talks about the military, when he talks about generals, when he talks about people that serve, I know he's all of those things. So at one moment you're like this, okay, I get it. And the next moment you baffle, some of the things he says. I don't get it. I don't get it on Easter. I'm not defending it. But again, the person you see in the 1 o'clock press conference was far different than the person that tweeted whatever that was yesterday.
There's this weird thing with the president that he feels like he has to be like he's playing a role, like he's playing a role on reality television, and he has to be a certain way for his MAGA followers, and then they say, well, when you get to know him in person, he's a very, like you say, sane and humble. The testimony of like somebody like a Bill Maher who really, doesn't really like the president, but spent time, broke bread with him, and he's like, he's not crazy, but then he does this stuff.
How many TV personalities do you know that are one way on camera and a different way off?
I don't know any
a number.
TV
You don't?
I'm sure
I have. I mean, okay. I have. Is he that way? I don't know. I'm not trying to explain it. I'm not defending it, nor any of it. I mean, he is who he is. He certainly doubles down on some things. He does play to the base on some things. But again, what I saw today is like it's baffling to me. Mm-hmm. And Joe Biden was baffling for many reasons. Incredibly baffling. And I never saw any upside from that particular presidency. Just me. I'm sure some people have.
Sure.
I don't know. Again, it's not Ronald Reagan or FDR, right? It's not. I don't like it. I certainly wouldn't do it. I certainly wouldn't do it on Easter. But maybe it's I don't know. I wish. Can you get him on? Can you get Donald Trump on at some point? Like, especially even after the presidency?
Honestly, it wouldn't shock me at some point that he would call local radio,
right?
Like this.
Right, or someone that has spent so much time with him. I mean,
I do want to get JD on. I think JD's accessible.
I think I'd ask him that question. What's he really like?
Yeah,
you're not going to learn it now. You might. It has to be after the fact. We learn so much after all of any presidential term or whatever. But
is that showing frustration of, hey, the higher the gas prices go, the more fraught the military situation is, which, by the way, we proved ourselves that we are the most powerful military in the world, that we're able to handle tough things. We're able to do difficult stuff in an enormous way. We're able to even mitigate when there's problems, like 2 of our planes getting stuck in the mud. They were able to do a workaround and get those guys out.
Played it up great today. Everyone supports the military for the most part. I mean, you have to almost be un-American not to support the military. I think you can still support the military even if you don't support the mission. So I think they're playing on that. I think they think they're in trouble. I think the Pam Bondi firing had a lot to do with her approval rating, and I don't think it was incredibly high. I think it has far more to do with his approval rating and how Republicans are generally doing and their fear of the midterms. I forget who.
You're saying that the firings had to do with that?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. I forget who said today that the only place less secure than a Trump cabinet member is the Cleveland Browns quarterback. I forget who had that line.
Wow.
Hugh Hewitt or somebody. I forget. Yeah. It was a great. But I think you're seeing it. I think they are fearful right now of midterms. They're creeping up.
There's no doubt about it. And even if he wasn't going to get impeached or whatever, they could basically put absolute brakes on any kind of policy situation.
I think the approval numbers are probably right in the upper 30s, some in the mid 30s. Even Fox is telling you that the war, quote unquote, is fairly unpopular. I still, as much as they tried and did a good job today, I don't know if they've sold to the American public that this was worth it. It's $1 billion a day with a B. $1 billion a day is what we're spending. And Pete Hegseth said today that bombing will ramp up tomorrow even more. And you have this whole deadline with the Strait or whatever. I'm not sure that Americans yet understand. I think they've tried, and I'm not saying the mission is unheralded and should or shouldn't happen. I think the jury's still out. I've been saying that here for weeks. But I don't think Americans believe that $1 billion a day and this mission yet is worth it. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't know if Americans believe that yet.
All right, let's get another voice in here and saying hello. Hi, you're live on Talk Erie.
Hey, Dino, it's awful Trumpy of you to bring up Biden. Every time somebody, it's always, well, Obama did this, Biden did that. You know what I learned today from Trump battling there at 1 p.m. was he left equipment in Iran. You remember how he always got on at his rallies? He would talk about how stupid Joe Biden was for leaving military equipment in Afghanistan. Well, guess what? Trump did the same thing.
Well, they said today they destroyed it. I think that's the difference.
Well, okay. Well, Biden said he destroyed it too.
Can you actually
destroy it? Can you? What?
Supposedly there was $80 billion worth of left equipment in Afghanistan.
It doesn't matter. You don't talk about one president doing something and then you do the same thing. Okay? They got the planes got stuck in the wet sand. They could land, but they couldn't take off. And, that doesn't even matter. The thing is, my problem is they always come back to Biden or Obama. Obama left pallets of cash for Iran. No, he didn't. It was their money. Okay? All he was doing was releasing their money that was frozen because they agreed to do something. That's all that went on there. But hey, real quick, Joe, I hear we're hiring 7 more police officers in the city.
Okay.
Well, how many cops do we need in the city?
Well,
I mean, how many cops do we need in the city? I see somebody getting pulled over for a traffic violation. We have 4 patrol cars, 8 police officers show up. How many cops do we need? I mean, really. I mean, I was told right on your show, crime is down in Erie. If crime's down, why are we hiring more cops?
It's very possible that this is, to compensate for attrition. But I'll look into it because the mayor will be on in the next couple of weeks here. We'll ask about it. So.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear that they're replacing other officers because there's too many cops on the street. When that ARP money's gone, our taxes are going up. That's what your Democrat mayor's going to give you is tax increase. All right.
Thanks, man. Oh, there we go.
One quick comment,
Yes, sir.
I think with the benefit of hindsight, everyone knows the withdrawal from Afghanistan was a disaster. Right. And I think the Biden presidency weakness contributed to the Russia invasion. I think that was also a factor. Again, we have the benefit of hindsight. I think the jury's still out on this war, that people don't necessarily understand it, that maybe good things may come, maybe Middle East peace. Trump talked today about certainly the assassinations that are going on in Iran. They're hanging people publicly. You can't protest. You can't do in that country what's going on here. Maybe this country will be safer. Like, all of those things could happen. We don't have the benefit of hindsight yet. We don't know how this thing ends. Those are the two differences, I think. Iran could be a quagmire and a disaster for the Trump administration. History may write that, but they haven't yet.
We're going to keep going here with Dino, but we got to take our break. It is 5:20, Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show on this Monday. It's Mondays with Dean. Dean Pepicello is with us here. We're talking politics. So, again, obviously, we always kind of gravitate to Trump. But let's talk about this rescue a little bit. Dave McCormick gave some interviews about this. Again, he was a former military. Don't you think that it just reinforced the absolute prowess and, dominant capability of our military, and that maybe all this hang-wringing about getting caught in a quagmire is not real? Don't you think that that it kind of would show to the regime that their best way out would be to just call a ceasefire, open up the strait, make their money from oil, and maybe cooler heads would still be able to be in power, yet they don't have to totally destroy their economy. I mean, their economy was on the brink. That's why they had protests in January, that they were killing people and so on. I mean, aren't they smart enough to know, hey, maybe some new tactics, or am I using Western worldviews on a people that will just never go for that?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I mean, you need a Middle East expert, a military expert.
Yeah.
Two things I'm not, and most people in this country are not. Some may think they are, but they're not. Their last bastion here, the last card they have is the Strait. So they have yet to say, apparently this massive bombardment is coming. I guess more than $1 billion a day. All right. That's the last card they have. They haven't rolled over yet. They continue to retaliate, to a large extent. But to your first point, the U.S. military is, and I think we kind of know that. If you don't know that, it's not even close. No. China's not even close. I don't want to hear about it. It's just not the case.
I mean, the CIA was able to throw enough disinformation into the hierarchy of the Iranian government, as much as it is, to say, okay, we've already gotten the guy out of there. You should be looking at the borders, even as we go in. They were smashing anybody within 3 kilometers of the strike zone where the colonel was needing to be eradicated. I mean, like, just the incredible technical, superiority. It was just astounding to hear this story.
Okay, I get it, and I'm with you, and you know that I agree. And it was funny, they talked about today whether or not they were even going to undertake the rescue mission.
Wow.
Like, sometimes it's like, well, too bad, so sad that this is war. Like, the risk, because they said they risked hundreds of soldiers' lives in doing this, and decided to do it. But the ability to rescue, of course we have that ability, and it's incredible, is far different to me than somehow, without ground troops, winning a war, quote unquote, with Iran. What does winning look like? Again, to the American people, I'm not sure we know. What does winning look like? Is it they can't have a nuclear bomb? We continue to hear that. Okay, then we probably won, I guess. For now, they're going to start tomorrow. Whenever we leave, they're going to start tomorrow. Again, are we going to go after every rogue nation? I don't know. I mean, I don't know those things. Is it oil? Is it the freedom of Iranian people? Like, all those things are awesome. None of those things have happened yet, probably with the exception of limiting their nuclear capability.
You could say that we already won because we chopped the head off of the beast. Most of the leaders have been eliminated. Could say, okay,
have they? And the regime's still in charge.
Yeah, but you haven't heard anything about the supreme leader or anything like that.
Again, Trump said today, we want them to rise up, but we get it because people are being executed.
Yeah, I don't think you can count on that. That's crazy. But
then how's it going to happen?
Yeah. Let's get another phone call in here. I've got just about a minute. Caller, you're live.
Did you ever watch that movie with Gene Hackman and the Owen, the one?
Oh yeah, Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of what might have happened there. They learn.
Well, they go to school. They go to evasion school, if you will.
Right. They got
in survival school.
There's an Air Force program that's even more rigorous, I guess, than the SEALs program.
Wow.
But that Strait of Hormuz is just so small, where the ships can actually go, and all the different kind of mines they have. They got mines that can sense steel ships or a propeller, the pulse of the propeller going, and they can lay on the ground or lay in the mud for a while without being detected, and then all of a sudden work. And that thing has been given the Iranians a lot of clout for a long time. That Strait of Hormuz. Yeah. They shut it down for a lot of different reasons over the years, and I don't know. I think OPEC almost needs to be broke a little bit, because between Canada, United States, Venezuela, we've got a lot of oil here.
Well, I think you're going to see some solutions coming out of the folks that are mostly impacted by the Strait, and that is China and India and
But yeah,
in
but
places
China's
like that.
also helping Iran.
Well, but again, this could be a scenario where, their oil needs would trump any kind of help to continue hitting the U.S. But I'm going to have to roll.
Right.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Appreciate
take it easy. Bye.
Bye. Anyway, do you see any imminent solving of this? I mean, they keep on saying, "Hey, the ceasefire could happen any moment." Is that just to manipulate this? The stocks are up today.
So are gas prices. Right.
So
I don't know. We don't know what's going on in negotiations. Trump will tell you, and he said again today, we're close on negotiations. They keep coming to the
He's
table.
Been saying that for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Now,
I'm not sure Americans are there yet. We might be. I think we're all hopeful.
I mean, last week on the evening address, he mentioned something about 2 to 3 weeks. It might be that it turns out to be that.
We're over a month in, right?
Yeah.
I still think Americans, we have trouble convincing them today that Iran was on the verge of attacking us.
Oh,
without
they were
fear of
not
retribution.
Attack. Yeah. There was no long range ballistic missile to hit Hawaii or the New Jersey mainland. It's not going to happen.
They have a ways to go to convince the American people. That's what I think.
Back after the news. Thanks for tuning in to Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. Dean Pepicello is with us. He is our political guru and the Harbor Creek Township Supervisor. How are things in Harbor Creek?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I was going to say, what's the latest retail that just popped up? Wingstop, right?
Yeah.
Have you had any yet?
I think there's another commercial entity
coming.
Yeah.
You're about to announce.
4 units. No tenants that I know of. There's another big one coming. I can't say.
Have you had any Wingstop yet?
I haven't. What the heck's wrong with me?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, aren't you going to support the locals?
And
you're the only Donato's now because Christina closed Green Garden. The county executive is down to one store.
Yeah.
Donato's good pizza for sure, man.
She's done a nice job.
She does.
I think it's always interesting to watch someone from the outside.
Yeah.
And we were all like, none of us were born politicians. I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's from the private sector, basically, except maybe Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi. But the rest of us, but it's always fascinating to watch somebody from the outside come into government because they have all these big ideas and you change the world. And these idiots are doing everything wrong, right? And then you get in, it's like, oh, well, wait a minute. You can't. There's a reason.
Right.
There's a reason for everything.
Sure.
And sometimes you might disagree with it, and there's a whole other direction you can go, but you can't just blatantly break the law and do things you want. It just doesn't work like that. So it's always fascinating to watch people from the outside, especially at the county level or higher, get in and realize everything that comes with that job. And I think Christina was very... she was honest when she said the job's a lot more than I thought.
Well, yeah.
No kidding. I get it. But it is a lot more than anyone could imagine. And you're bound by certain regulations and laws. And it never is what anybody thinks. You ask anybody 6 months into that job, came from the outside.
Yeah.
Is it anything like you thought? No way. Everybody says it's nothing like you thought.
Let me ask you a key off from kind of where we ended the conversation with Boo and Laura from Build CDC. They're looking to do some work on blight in the city, and for a lot of that, it has to be go to code and go to the zoning. How do you feel like in a place like yours, like Harbor Creek Township, where the zoning is at, and is it only pro single family homes, or do you guys have a balanced zoning approach where some multifamily could happen and affordable housing could happen and so on like that?
I feel like we have a balance. I'm sure many people think we don't, but we're building 173 apartments and townhouses right now.
You are?
Right?
Well, that's fabulous.
We have low income. We have senior housing. So we have all of those things.
When's the last time you had a comprehensive zoning plan?
We did it like 3 or 4 years ago.
Well,
so
you're way ahead of everybody else then.
Yeah, it's supposed to be done every 10 years. Most people don't. They wait a little longer.
I don't know how long Erie's been. Jeepers.
Well, they're constantly the Buki report. I mean, there's always somebody doing some sort of study about the city of city of Erie. By the way, there is a lot of money for blight in Pennsylvania. A lot. There's an Erie County Land Bank. I think the city has its own program. They take a ton of gambling money. If you want to knock down a blighted building in Pennsylvania, certainly in Erie, you can do it. The problem, it takes time. Like you can't just go eminent domain it and take it and knock somebody's building down. I mean, you can't. It's a long process.
There's a process,
right? So the holdup isn't necessarily that there isn't money to do it, because there is to get rid of blight. It's the legal process you have to go through to obtain the property.
But if you're tearing down a building in an R1, a house in an R1, it's fallen down on itself. You can't replace it with an R2, with a flat or something like that.
No, not generally.
Yeah.
I mean, every zoning code is different, but you don't want. If people move to the country, we laugh about people that leave the city or not. It could be anywhere. It could be any developed area, and they go out to the country because they want to live in the country. Well, they want to live in the country, but they don't want to smell skunks. They don't want to smell cow patties. Right. And they want all the services in the world. Where's my public water and sewer? And why isn't my road plowed first? Because you live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's 2 houses on a 2-mile road, and you wonder why you don't get. So we laugh at those people, but at the same time, they've signed up to live in the country, right? So. Should an apartment building be built next to them? No. First of all, you don't have the infrastructure.
Right.
People have a right to make certain decisions. Now, we have an R2 and an R3, more densely areas.
Sure.
And as you get more dense, you can do more density. That's the point.
That is
so
the
in
point.
R1, it's single family and whatever. In R2, it's duplexes and small apartments, 4 units, right? And then as you get to R3, for us, you can name it anyone. Then you get into the bigger apartment complexes.
Yeah.
So the zoning
and you're in
makes
a
sense.
different situation. The village is more dense than anywhere else in Harbor Creek, but the city is dense, period.
Right.
I mean, having so much R1 all throughout the city is counterproductive, in my opinion.
Probably. Here, I just talked to Marcus Jacobs. What they're doing in Wesleyville, Paul Bills would know really well. They're redoing everything in Wesleyville, and now they're making it easier to develop, so it makes more sense, reducing setbacks and changing uses and all those things. They're doing. I think Wesleyville. Watch them come back a little bit. Like, people are going to be then incentivized, and if you can do things like tax abatements, whatever you can do. I'm not saying they're doing it, but they're changing their zoning code to fit the future of that borough.
And they'd
be
be smart because of Barron is like still needing housing, right? Barron is not fixed their housing problem, and so if you could find multifamily in Wesleyville, it's going to be a draw there, and then it's kind of walkable. Hey, you're live on Talk Erie. Hello.
Well, I was listening to the 2 smartest guys I know on radio.
And then
me
too.
Then I switched the channel and found you guys.
Man. But
That's awesome.
I have I need 2 questions for you guys. Seriously, I really trust your opinion. Explain this to me like I'm 7 years old. I have 2 points. I'll make them quickly. Number 1, I'm a news junkie like you guys are, and I keep seeing these reports that we're fine. We don't need the Strait of Hormuz because we are energy independent. Don't worry about it. If that's true, then why is gas up almost $1 a gallon? That's my first point.
Yeah.
Okay, that bothers me. It just those 2 just don't make sense to me. Okay. Number 2, you were having a discussion earlier this week. You mentioned this a lot about this beach sand replenishment.
right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I know you'll be on my page here. I'm very curious to hear how Dean will handle this. We all can agree on one thing. That peninsula, Erie, PA, with that peninsula, no offense, but it's Conneaut or Youngstown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That peninsula is our crown jewel. And I don't understand why we have to beg every year. How much does it cost? What's the amount we're looking for?
I think it's like $1.5 million each. Like it's like 1.25 to 1.5 from each of the entities. Yeah.
So we're looking for about $2.5 million.
Yeah,
$3 million.
Yeah. Yep.
How are we not? And I'm sorry because I don't blow people's fights. You look at your phone bill, your cable bill. We pay $10 fees for everything. I don't want to charge to get into the peninsula. I cannot believe this county does not exact a small tax on everybody's returns every year. So we're not begging the government to please get sand. Why don't we take the bull by the horns and just do it ourselves? The only problem I see with it, we'll have to form a sand oversight committee, and that guy will get $300,000, and he'll need 5 assistants and 3 secretaries, right? And all of a sudden, when they all get done with their hands in the cookie jar, one beach gets some rocks put on it. But if it's done right, I feel like this community is embarrassing that we just don't take the bull by the horns and say, listen, we got this. This is worth it.
All right, we'll talk about it. Thanks, man. All right, let's do the second first.
The issue you talked about. And I hate taxes, but one thing that has worked in this community is hotel taxes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're going to save the zoo, essentially, with hotel tax money.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, that's very true.
And it hasn't. I don't think it's hurt attendance at hotels. Right? Mm-hmm. Nick Scott would be better to answer that than anybody else who owns a hotel. But I mean, we're still building hotels.
Yeah.
Not only on the Bayfront, so we're taking care of ourselves. Remember, This administration went through the whole doging thing. Like, is it the Fed's job to take care of Presque Isle? And to Phil's point, I think his answer is maybe no, right? But solve it. But they're going to find other solutions. Like, if you talk to Pat Harkins or Bob Mirsky today, they're going to find a way.
Right.
They're going to find a way. And maybe I'm not saying it's another tax or a tax to get on the peninsula, but they will find ways. Locals will find ways. We understand what a jewel that is. I'm not sure it's somebody's job who lives in Oregon to pay tax so we can have the peninsula. Honestly, he's right about it.
My understanding was that somebody somewhere in our leadership here at the county level kind of dropped the ball and did not promote that the sand replenishment was a priority. Doge got to it. And now, according to Mike Kelly, getting it back on the budget is a very difficult thing. So we'll see. What I am surprised at is, where's the state money? Is there not enough? Usually the state match would help that.
Yeah.
As far as the Strait of Hormuz, we have an international market for oil, and that's why our gas is tied to the global market, no matter what's going on. And it's all based on exchanges. It's not necessarily based on, eventually it's based on inventories and the flow and whatever. But it's really, it's speculation all over the place. Mm-hmm. I got to let you go.
Yeah, I got to roll. I'm sorry. Thank you.
And last thoughts?
No. You want me to have extra last thoughts? No, I still don't understand why they didn't park that thing. That's what I'm saying, Shaney. They're still going. They're going by the moon. Put it down.
I know. Just park it.
Pull it in.
Just put the landing gear down. Call into air traffic control. Hey, we're gonna land here on the dark side of the moon.
Shaney and I are right. Yeah, you bet.
You go. I tell you what. Yeah, stay with us here. More ahead. It's 10 minutes in front of 6. Let's see. Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show wrapping up here on this Monday. So thankful for Boo Haggerty, Laura Gutchin, and with us here from the Build Community Development Corporation. And